Hi, I'm Kimberly. Life Plants with Kimberly, or Keeping It Alive with Kimberly, something like that. Anyway, um, I thought I would give you a tour of my plants. Today is May 23rd, 2026. It's Saturday. So I haven't been on here for a while. I grow plants. I started growing plants in 2000. 2020 during COVID. So I got into plants. So anyway, I'm doing pretty good with them. So anyway, here's what I've got. These I'll start. Maybe I'll start with my outside plants since they're gonna. Okay, this is an oxalis. Um, I used to think that they. I used to think they had dormancy periods, but if you don't water them properly, sometimes they'll die out, but then they come back. So there's my green oxalis, and I've got a purple one down here that is hard to see because of the everybody outside gets to see it, but there it is. It's beautiful. Got real pretty flowers. Okay, this is a night blooming cereus. I got this from a friend of mine who lives in Ohio. And I have blooms on it. I've had several blooms on it last year, so you know it grew from hardly nothing to the size it is now. This here is called a friendship plant. I got this from a friend. And then I've got some different types of jade here. There's my Christmas cactus. That's a type of bromeliad right there, and then in the background is a euphorbia I got from my son-in-law. And then right there is a crown of thorns. I got 3 small plants and planted them up together in that planter, and I got that I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know, it's grown to be like that. And then that is a type of orchid right there. It's a Dendrobium nobile. And then I've got 3 orchids left in my collection. And then that's a type of, I believe, Pilea right there. And this here is my amaryllis. It didn't bloom this year. And that is a blue star fern. And here is my old faithful ficus. It's a variegated ficus. Okay, and then now we'll go inside. I'll show you my plants in here. I may remember the names and I may not, because that is my Mandulo pothos. That's my main plant, and then I've got some that I've started as propagations. That is a type of Aglaonema right there. It's got a bloom on it, like you can see it. And then I've got several spider plants. This is one of them. It's Chrysophyllum, I think it's called, something like that. Anyway, this is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and they call it a mini monstera, but I think it got the term Rhaphidophora because it grows so rapidly. That's my thought. I've got a couple of those. I've made starts off of my original plant. There's another Aglaonema, also known as a Chinese evergreen. And then I've got a type of Dracaena there. I've got several Dracaenas in my collection. This is a, shoot, I can't think of the name of it. It's an aurelia. It's a type of aurelia. And there's two other dracaenas right there. Sometimes my mind goes blank when I try to remember things. This is a, let's see if I've got the name there. If you can read the name. Oh, it's a ZZ plant. That's my just all green ZZ plant. And then I've got a couple of Syndaptus pictus argaeus, or something like that. That's that. That's another bromeliad right there. And this is my main living area of my apartment. Okay, and this is my dining area, and then I've got an extra little bed here. I made that up for my dad when he comes to visit. He's in his 90s. And then I have some Hoya. That Hoya in right there is a Hoya pubicalix, and I got that as a freebie with another Hoya that I ordered. The shipper sent me that as a freebie. Then I've got several types of ivy. I like ivy. I had one particular ivy called a heterohelix little Herman ivy, and I kept trying to replace it, and I had trouble finding it. This is spathiphyllum, also known as peace lily, and they're doing very well here. This is a south-facing window, and there's another one of my spider plants. And then I've got some pothos, Epiprinum aureum, and then that is a Pachira aquatica. So whatever names I can remember, I'll come up with. That's also got a common name, which I can't think of a common name right now, but I've got two of these. There's another dracaena, and these are little starts I took off of my ZZ plant. And then there's a ZZ plant compacta. I don't know how well you can see that. See? And then there's another Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. And then I've got a, this is a type of euphorbia here. It's called the devil's backbone. It's got another proper name. It's a little wild. And then I've got some cacti. There's one, and there's another one. And then this, I recently got these two little succulents from my neighbor. And then there's another little cactus. And here's my little centerpiece cactus. He's not the prettiest little guy, but he's sitting on my table. Okay, there's another type of dracaena. They're also called, what do they call them? Lucky bamboo. When they keep them in water and sell them that way, it's called lucky bamboo, but it's a type of dracaena. And then there's this little plant. It's called the common name is umbrella plant. I can't think of the botanical name. And then this is my little, just an overview of my little dining area. Okay. There's my, I love that picture. There's my grandsons. Okay, and then this is my kitchen. Okay, I've got another Epiprinum aureum, pothos. There's another one of the Pachira aquatica that I have. The Pachira aquatica, they smell so good. When you rinse them off, they really, it refreshes your senses. This is a type of philodendron, golden. It's called a golden goddess. Um, Kind of hard to distinguish from my other plants, but that's a little coffee plant I got picked up at Walmart. And then there's a shoot, what are those called? It's funny, you can think of names, but when you want to remember them, you can't think of them. So it's a Haworthia, type of Haworthia. And then there's another Hoya. That's my Crimson Queen right there. And then there is a Hoya Rosita Adrift right there, the front one. And then that is shoot, I forget what it's called. It's a it'll come to me. Anyway, there it is. And this is my little ivy that I kept trying to replace. I had one and it died, and I just really liked it, and I kept trying to replace it, and I finally found a replacement. This is my little Herman ivy, heterohelix. It's variegated. I'm not sure how clear the variegation is in that picture, but. And then here's my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma propagations that I've got, and then my Mandula pothos, Epiprenum aureum, Mandulo. And there is my Hushkiliana Hoya. And I think it's really pretty. And then I've got a few pothos propagating there. And there's my flowers. That's my kitchen. Okay. And now I will take you to my bedroom. Okay. And here in my bedroom, I've got 4 Hoya on my dresser. This is the Mathilde. I think it's Mathilde Splash. Yes, it is. It's Hoya Mathilde Splash. And then I got this Indowentus. And then that's my little Hoya Bella variegated right there. This is a Hoya Chelsea, Hoya Carnosa Chelsea. It's in the Carnosa family. It's got it's a little got a little puckered look to it. Well, some of them are puckered, some of them aren't. There you go. Okay, and there is another Lucky Bamboo, also known as Dracaena, type of Dracaena. And here is the plant that I had in the kitchen. I made some propagations from, and I will tell you the name. It's a Peperomia marble. S204, Peperomia marble. And you can see the marbling on some of the leaves. Some of them are pretty green, but some of it, the marbling is showing up on there. Okay, and then I got me a couple of African violets this year, and I thought I hadn't grown them for a while, and I thought, well, let me try to grow these again. And there's one, and there's the other one. They're both blooming. And then this is another Hoya. I believe this is just a Hoya carnosa. Someone had given me a cutting, and they didn't give me the name, but I've looked it up, and it just keeps coming up, Hoya carnosa. So I don't know if that's just a general name they give you. And there's another type of English ivy. Another little Haworthia there. And then I've got another orchid in the house. That's a miniature orchid, and this is a north-facing window. And I've got that, as you can see, I've got this is my bedroom, so I've got the the stuff on the window, you know, for privacy. And yet that orchid continues to bloom year after year. Oh, there is my Mandula pothos as well. This is my original plant, the one hanging. I took rib cuttings from this, and then I've got some Sansevieria, also known as snake plants. I think this one is, the lighting isn't, I apologize for the lighting, but this one is I think it's the moon glow or something like that it's called. And then this is a little samurai, dwarf samurai, Sansevieria. And I've got this Sansevieria here, which is, I don't think it's, I didn't see any special names on it, but there it is. And they're supposed to be very good for air purifying. So there's a look at my bedroom. And I apologize that I have changed the, I meant to do this landscape on my video on my phone, and I don't know, I just got off to start using the portrait feature, which I know is not good for YouTube, but anyway, there you go.